learned a grand jury will hear testimony on Monday as part of an ongoing investigation into Tiffany Henyard's leadership in the South Suburbs.
The FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco has been following allegations of her misspending and joins us now with an update. Dane.
Yeah, we've been reporting for nearly 2 years on allegations of corruption surrounding Henyard in her capacity as Dalton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor.
The FBI also demanding records from the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation after we reported at least $10,000 in taxpayer money went to.
By now, many of us are familiar with the escalating scandal involving Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Recent events have stunned both online observers and local trustees, prompting the FBI to launch an investigation into the numerous allegations of misconduct against her. The evidence gathered so far is both troubling and substantial. The first significant update emerged when FBI agents were seen conducting interviews in Dallas. Although they did not disclose details about their investigation, it's widely presumed that it relates to the various accusations against Henyard. Reports have been circulating for some time, suggesting that the so-called super mayor may have been exploiting her political position for personal gain. The situation has only deteriorated since.
Agents are in fact interviewing witnesses as part of a possible investigation that may or may not result in charges. Did the FBI agents you talked to seem serious about
very serious
concerns?
Very serious. Very.
Lawrence Gardner owns a U-Haul rental and trucking business in South Suburban Dalton and says he went to the FBI several months ago, frustrated that the village of Dalton would not renew his business license. Gardner says he's been harassed and his business raided and shut down by Dalton police. He believes because he refused to make a donation to a civic event sponsored by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
And I talked to a couple of agents and I explained them what was going on. I gave them all my paperwork to show them what was happening in court and what was happening in Dalton. And they told me they was investigating and they would be in touch with me.
Gardner is one of 6 people who confirmed to Fox 32 that they've been interviewed by the FBI, ranging from Dalton business owners to a former village employee and at least one public official.
Several business owners from Dalton have come forward, disclosing that their requests for business licenses were denied due to their refusal to contribute to Tiffany Henyard's election campaign. Picture your ability to operate a business being contingent upon making political donations. These allegations illustrate a troubling picture of corruption that appears to have entrenched itself since Henyard assumed office.
FBI has been using electronic surveillance as part of its investigation. Agents are asking questions about Henyard's alleged use of taxpayer dollars and resources, including massive spending on out-of-town trips, hundreds of thousands of dollars in police overtime for her personal security detail, using public employees and tax dollars for personal benefit, and holding up licenses to certain businesses like this Dalton restaurant.
I've heard rumors that say, hey, I'm on the wrong team.
Dwayne Wood has been trying to renew the business license for his restaurant for nearly a year. While he has not talked to the FBI, he believes he can't get approved because he's provided catering to several Dalton trustees who are engaged in a political fight with Henyard.
I think I've been just targeted because of my association affiliation with a certain group of people. You know, I had the trustees. I've cooked for the trustees.
And in a lawsuit filed by a Dalton towing company, the owner alleges their business license has been held up because, quote, George's Towing's refusal to support or contribute to Henyard's political campaign.
Public office should be about serving the community, not exploiting it for personal gain. Consequently, many Dalton residents are welcoming the FBI's investigation, seeing it as a crucial step toward addressing the corruption and ensuring transparency about how their tax dollars are being used. Next voik. Public outrage toward Tiffany Henyard has surged following the revelation that the FBI has requested records from Dalton. This move serves as a de facto confirmation that the FBI is actively collecting evidence to build a case against her. As the investigation tightens, it's worth noting that this isn't the first instance of Henyard facing intense scrutiny.
Dalton trustee Jason House reacted to the news of the FBI's involvement. We welcome any investigation that will bring transparency on how taxpayer dollars are being spent. Our residents deserve this level of financial transparency. We reached out to the FBI, which said it is policy for the agency not to comment on the nature, existence, or non-existence of any investigation that may be occurring. A public relations firm responded on behalf of the mayor, saying neither Henyard or the village of Dalton have received any subpoenas or been contacted by the FBI or any other law enforcement agency.
Tiffany Henyard has left Dalton's finances in such a dire state that the village can no longer meet its financial obligations. This severe situation has led to the law firm handling over a dozen lawsuits on Dalton's behalf stepping down due to unpaid fees.
This copy of the latest court order. It asked for a variety of financial reports like budgets, accounting records, and receipts for Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Village Administrator Keith Freeman, and Trustee Andrew Holmes, as well as several other companies and individuals. Plus, any records related to Henyard's charitable organizations. The subpoena also requests all travel records paid for by the municipality, including a trip taken to Las Vegas in May of last year. On that trip, both the mayor's former assistant and a Dalton police officer. They've both filed a civil lawsuit accusing Holmes of assault and battery and Henyard of retaliation. Regarding the lawsuit, the mayor and Holmes both declined to comment. The first two grand jury subpoenas were served April 10th, asking for personnel and disciplinary files for nearly 30 people. The subpoenas also ask for documents related to Keith Freeman, the village administrator recently indicted on charges of bankruptcy fraud. His attorney told us he has no plans to step down.
As if this gross mismanagement weren't enough, Tiffany Henyard recently vetoed a proposal to investigate her own conduct. That's right, she had the chance to allow a transparent investigation into her actions, but chose to block it. This move only raises more questions about what she might be trying to conceal.
A few days ago, the law firm representing the village in at least 19 lawsuits in Cook County and federal court said it's planning to withdraw from the cases May 8th due to lack of payment. NBC5 has obtained a copy of the letter sent to the village by the Delgado law firm of Berwyn.
FBI agents were seen near Dalton Village Hall conducting an investigation, but they remained tight-lipped about its specifics. It's clear, though, that their activities are likely connected to Tiffany Henyard.
Dalton's controversial mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is resisting calls to look into her spending. At a village board meeting Monday night, the Dalton mayor vetoed a resolution passed by the board to investigate her spending. Last month, the board passed a resolution that required Henyard to turn in the village's financial records and called for an investigation by the FBI. Now, several Fox 32 reports have uncovered multiple allegations of corruption in her capacity as mayor and as Thornton Township supervisor. The mayor took issue with what she called attacks on her.
As you can see, our village, our community, myself, we are under attack. It's a shame that people can come to meetings and just tell one-sided stories and not get the entire side of both stories.
The Daily Southtown reports the trustees can vote to override the mayor's veto next month, and we have confirmed the FBI is questioning people as part of an ongoing investigation.
For many trustees, the FBI's presence in Dalton is a welcome relief, giving them the sense that their plea for intervention has finally been addressed.
Tell you about what we know, and that is that a handful of FBI agents showed up to this area earlier today. What is not clear is exactly why. Now, here's another statement in part that we got from the FBI saying that the FBI was conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity in that area today. Department of Justice policy prevents the FBI from commenting on the nature of any investigation that may be occurring. Now, we know Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been the focus of NBC5 investigations for weeks, and that several high-level officials do face.
Tiffany Henyard isn't the only one facing scrutiny from the FBI. Keith Freeman, her former right-hand man, has also been charged in connection with separate allegations. Freeman's indictment adds further complexity and raises additional questions about the network of influence within Henyard's administration.
Trustees that we spoke to, one in particular who we just spoke to, tells me this is a relief.
I'm feeling a sigh of relief. For the last 3 years, myself, the board members, and the residents have been feeling like no one was coming to save us in regards to providing us with the information that we need to make decisions regarding our finances with the village. So today I feel as if we're maybe one step closer to having some of the answers.
As tensions escalate, Tiffany Henyard has become notably defensive. At a recent Thornton Township meeting, when a citizen directly accused her of corruption, Henyard responded by attempting to have the individual removed rather than addressing the concerns. This reaction only fueled further outrage among the attendees.
And we have some new developments on a suburban government that's mired in accusations of scandal. The mayor of Dalton is already under investigation, and there are allegations of misconduct surrounding an official trip to Las Vegas. Well, now a top administrator is facing fraud charges. Regina Waldrop explains.
Trustee Andrew Holmes?
No. Several high-level officials in South Suburban Dalton facing a rush of lawsuits and investigations. Federal prosecutors accuse Keith Freeman of making false statements in his bankruptcy petition. Freeman currently serves as village administrator and as municipality manager of Thornton Township.
There has been several times that we have gone back and forth and we have talked about being able to get past all of this.
The indictment alleges that Freeman made several false statements and omissions in the bankruptcy petition filed in January. It says he knowingly underreported income he derived from his employment, as well as fees he received from his private consulting business. Freeman has not been arraigned, and the village declined to comment. This latest legal issue comes days after a civil lawsuit was filed against Mayor Tiffany Henyard and trustee Andrew Holmes, who is a well-known community activist. It was filed by the mayor's former assistant and a Dalton police officer. The lawsuit accuses Holmes of assault and battery and Henyard of retaliation. The incidents allegedly occurred during and after an economic development trip to Las Vegas last month.
Violence critics haven't ended there. The village's firefighters have come forward, alleging that Tiffany Henyard embezzled funds from their retirement account. One firefighter revealed that many have been hesitant to speak out due to fears of retaliation, a legitimate concern given Henyard's egotistical nature. Her actions represent a profound breach of trust, affecting those who risk their lives for the community's safety. Despite these revelations, the firefighters continue to perform their duties and ensure the safety of Dalton's residents.
Tiffany Henyard, who faces multiple lawsuits and a federal investigation in her dual role as Dalton mayor. Scores of residents here outraged by the allegations.
And you're trying to steal from everybody in here. Everybody. We're not going to let you keep stealing our money.
Investigators said to be focusing on everything from contracts to cronyism. Henyard and her allies have spent more than $100,000 on questionable and extravagant travel, much of it uncovered by WGN Investigates.
Now you will hear the truth as relates to the budget from myself and my administration. Now you have to listen in order to learn. Remove her. Remove her.
Henyard, in a tense moment at one point, ordering the removal of a resident for allegedly disrupting the meeting. The confrontation diffused by police with their refusal to eject based on First Amendment rights. Lost in all the conflict was time to be able to go over the proposed 2025 budget.
Despite the serious allegations and ongoing FBI investigation, Tiffany Henyard appears unfazed. Recently, she was seen hosting a party, celebrating with supporters as if nothing was amiss. Although trustees declined to fund the event due to its association with her name, Henyard claimed the money came from her own pocket, though the source of these funds remains unclear. Her actions have left many questioning how someone under such intense scrutiny could so openly disregard the severity of the situation.
WGN Investigates reporting on Henyard's travel pay and perks.
WGN's Julian Cruz was at that meeting. He's live now in South Holland with more. Julian?
Well, Ben and Micah, that emotional public hearing finally drawing to a close just a short while ago with unfinished business. The Thornton Township Board of Trustees failing to fully pass their 2025 budget. There are 17 South suburban communities that make up the Thornton Township, and residents making it crystal clear that they're deeply dissatisfied with the Thornton Township supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, who of course is under the cloud of a federal corruption investigation.
We need transparency. We need transparency.
You have increased everything across the board. It's like you were trying to drain the money.
Frustrated South suburban residents sharing their concerns at today's Thornton Township budget hearing.
Y'all need to be in jail because this is...
In a further controversial move, Henyard has been accused of using taxpayer-funded resources for personal political gain at a food distribution event. She reportedly adorned the goods with her campaign branding, transforming a charity event into a political rally. Subsequently, in a Facebook video, Henyard dismissed the mounting corruption allegations by claiming that God had chosen her to be mayor.
Hey guys, hey!
Patricia, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor.
The super mayor took to social media to promote her party. There was a bounce house, skating, and a food giveaway.
But I spend my own money to make sure that I put on for my citizens. I'm always put my money where my mouth is.
Henyard said she paid after trustees refused. They're trying to control her spending and were skittish because the event was advertised as the Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic. That's also the name of her campaign fund. Her lawyer denies it was a political event, but it's clear the bash was meant to bolster Henyard's image as she faces a federal investigation into her spending in Dalton, where she's the mayor, and Thornton Township, where she's the supervisor.
And for those that don't know, let me make sure I'm crystal clear about this. I ain't never took a damn thing in my life. So I want to make sure y'all hear it out my mouth.
Let's start with the party's location. It was held at a skating rink Henyard commissioned in Dalton with an initial estimated cost of $269,000. WGN Investigates had to sue Dalton to get Henyard's administration to release credit card records, and we noticed a $17,000 charge to a roller skate wholesale.
Her statements have had little impact on public opinion. Many view her claims of divine intervention as a desperate ploy to deflect from the serious allegations she's facing as the FBI's investigation intensifies. The evidence against Henyard continues to accumulate, including accusations of pressuring business owners for campaign donations, potential misuse of retirement funds, and attempts to silence critics at public meetings. It's clear that this investigation is far from over. With the FBI fully involved, stay tuned for further updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for more updates.